7-year-old galactic hero. Katie Burke, first person I ever called my girlfriend. She knew my name of that, I'm sure. Imagine growing up in sparsely populated Ohio country. Here on Earth, pairings like ours must have been star-crossed. I delivered popcorn balls to her house Christmas Eve and fed her dog while they were away, though secretly I was terrified of the dog. But oh, to be in love, and also 7-year-old galactic hero. There just wasn't enough time for our romance to grow. I spent hours every day smacking long dead branches across tree trunks as lightsaber battles against the oncoming hordes of alien invaders. In 1980 rural America, every evil alien invader inexplicably had a Russian accent. I held her hand twice. Once she had fallen across a snowdrift that had built up in front of her parents' house. I had been given one fat dollar to clear the snow, although it was only a foot high. The blizzard of '78 had made that seem, even to my young memory, just dust to step over. But she had fallen, and I held her hand to help her up. And then again, at the Ashland Rollercade, when we were 12 and I was old enough to put space fantasies away but still hadn't, she held my hand in a boy-girl skate with lights low and music playing. While I couldn't skate, she seemed to just glide. She held my hand and I fell hard and pulled her down with me. And it was the end of our romance when she hurt her elbow and I crawled back to the carpet, kicked off my skates and ran out of the building with panicked eyes, hiding impossible tears. Much more comfortable fighting Soviet alien invaders in the woods behind my house. So if you were to ask me today why I love to read the old science fiction stories, not the new ones, but the old ones of green aliens and mind control, and it doesn't matter why, it just works, intergalactic space jumps, it's because of Katie Burke. And because when I hadn't cleared her parents' driveway yet, seeing as my shovel was really a laser sword, Katie fell. And when Katie fell, I gave her parents their dollar back because I was chivalrous and I was a hero. In 1980, I was still some kind of hero. And this is an exercise that I did one time, just listing reasons why I like to write poetry, and then it became a thing. And I love this exercise. I think everybody should try it. I write poetry because I spent 8 years trying to learn how to be a scientist, and I couldn't stand it anymore. I write poetry because when I see a blank sheet of paper, I want to fill it. I write poetry because I love to paint, but I only know how to paint with words. I write poetry because the phone keeps ringing and I just hate talking on the phone. I write poetry because everything hasn't been said quite yet. I write poetry because I have an antique typewriter and it makes revision harder. I write poetry because when words fall out of my hands, they need a place to rest. I write poetry because when I talk to myself, people think I'm crazy, but if I write it down, they say it's talented. I write poetry because Mr. Whitmore told me he liked a poem I showed him when I was in high school. I write poetry because nuclear bombs are set off by pushing shiny red buttons, and shiny red buttons are pushed by old men in uniforms, and old men in uniforms love to push shiny red buttons. I write poetry because my photo albums are all full, but I still have some notebooks left. I write poetry because sometimes a tree is just a tree, but it could be more. I write poetry because anyone can write a poem, but not just anyone will be a poet. I write poetry because some of the best people I know are poets. I write poetry because some of the worst people I know are poets. I write poetry because I don't like to talk very much, but I have a lot to say. I write poetry because I listen to crazy people and they listen to me. I write poetry because sometimes I read so much my head gets full. I write poetry because there are just too many people who I've known who never got a chance to meet you. I write poetry because Jeremy Kaiser beat me up in the 8th grade and said poetry is gay. And now Jeremy Kaiser is in a poem. I write poetry because I'm too shy to sing. I write poetry because I can't give birth. And I write poetry because you can only put so many words on your tombstone, so you've got to make them count.